How's it going, hockey fans? Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome to the Hockey Stop, your source for all hockey news, hockey opinions, and hockey highlights. So in this video, we're here to talk about Islanders prospect Ilya Sorokin, one of the top goaltender prospects in quite a while. And he was drafted by the Islanders in 2014 with their third-round pick, and he was just signed by the team with technically 2 contracts, but really 1 contract that'll be starting next season. So he gets his final year in his entry-level contract for the 2019-2020 season, which he's not even eligible to play in because, prospects getting signed right now won't be eligible for the 2020 playoffs. So really, it's for the intention of him starting in the 2020 to 2021 season. So he does sign an additional contract. It's 1 year, $2 million, and he will be a restricted free agent after the following season. So really no risk there whatsoever. And good for the Islanders for finally getting this guy on their roster page and, getting this guy an NHL contract. And it's great news, for the Islanders that this guy will be on their roster next season. And, I think initially it makes you think, so who's going to be on this roster then? Because, of course, they already have a pretty solid tandem in Varlamov and Greiss. Greiss in particular, who I think has really improved these past couple seasons. Of course, Varlamov has the contract. He has 3 more years on his contract, and I don't see the Islanders moving that contract. Whereas with Greiss, he's going to be a UFA this summer. So, well, I guess technically whenever the season ends. So not really this summer, but whenever the offseason starts. So, I guess Greiss is the guy that's expendable from the Islanders, but he's going to find a job, no problem, on another team. Definitely backup level, but I think even a potential starter for some teams. But I wouldn't want him as a starter. I feel like he definitely is more of a stronger backup to have in this league. So really, the Islanders will be rocking Ilya Sorokin and Varlamov as that tandem. And depending on how Sorokin plays, he could very well be the starter into the 2020 to 2021 season. Looking at this guy, he is fantastic. He has been incredible in the KHL. He's been playing with CSKA Moscow, which has been one of the best KHL teams for quite a few years. And with the KHL, it's not quite in the NHL, where I feel like the differentials between the bad teams and the good teams is a lot more sizable. And I think it kind of puts some goalies into an advantage. I think his stats might be a little bit skewed just based on, the fantastic team he's played on and, just a pretty strong shutdown defense. But make no mistake, this guy is still an incredible goaltender prospect who I think will be very successful in the NHL. Let's look at these stats, though. They're pretty insane. Ever since, he was playing in the 2014 to 2015 season, he's had an incredible save percentage. Let me just read down these numbers starting 2014 to 2015. 937, 953, 929, 931, 940, 935. It's just incredible, consistency each season after each season. And all of his goals against averages starting in the 2014-2015 season are 1.61 or under in goals against. And in the playoffs this season, of course, it was shortened because of Corona, but in 4 games, a .73 goals against average and a .966 save percentage. This guy is fantastic. Now, what makes this guy fantastic? I think, he's an incredibly flexible goaltender, and he's very speedy. He's very shifty, and he can easily get from side to side of his crease very quickly. And that's, of course, you look at highlight videos, he does a lot of desperation saves, and he's successful in them because, he's got that flexibility and speed. But when it comes to goaltenders, you don't rate them based on their desperation saves because that's usually a situation where they're out of position. This guy often is in position. And when it comes to a player coming in, deking in, or, one shot from one end to the other, this guy is, fantastic positionally wise, and he is great in terms of the way he can move. Lots of mobility, very fast, and he's got the flexibility. So that's what really makes him a successful goaltender in the KHL. Also, a pretty good glove hand too. He'll make a lot of strong glove saves, and it's hard to beat him glove side. Overall, fantastic goaltender. He is 6'2", so not one of the bigger goaltenders, but definitely not one of the smaller ones. I think it's a fine height for the NHL. Definitely a bit on the smaller side, I would say, but with the speed and flexibility, it's no problem. And I think just the fact that it's not only producing, fantastic stats in the KHL, he's got certain attributes that make him a successful goaltender. Flexibility, speed, and positioning are really important attributes to a starting goaltender in the NHL. And he's had a lot of experience as a starting goaltender for these past quite a few seasons, playing against adult level competition in the 2nd best league in the world in the KHL. KHL is a fantastic league, and to put numbers like that in there against adults and, being a consistent starter shows this guy can transition to the NHL and will probably be able to, take on quite a few starts without, having some weak, transition periods. And when it comes to KHL hockey, switching from the KHL to the NHL, with fours and defensemen, it's tougher because you have to deal with the larger ice. But with goaltenders, you just got your one crease. And of course, there's less space, inside the whole arena, which does lead to different types of plays. But I think he will have a better time transitioning. And you've seen it with, other young goaltenders around the league. Of course, you got Shesterkin and Samsonov. There's a lot, Russian goaltenders that come in this league, who have had a lot of success in the KHL, can be successful right away. And I think for Islanders fans, you got to be excited, Sorokin versus Shesterkin. It's going to be a fantastic goalie battle between the Rangers and the Islanders, and I think it really will, reignite their rivalry. And so Islanders fans, you got to be excited about Ilya Sorokin, and I think he will have, a really solid season with y'all next season. I think, you can definitely expect at least a pretty split amount of games between him and Varlamov. Maybe he plays a few more. We'll see what happens there. But, I think, based on his incredible consistency and playing at a very high level in the KHL, the second best men's league in the world, I think it'll translate fine with the NHL. And because he has those really important attributes of flexibility, speed, mobility, and his positioning, he's going to be a good goaltender for the Islanders for quite a few years to come. Of course, goaltenders and their progression can be a little unpredictable, but he has had a lot of success against men. So I think there's a lot of promise for Ilya Sorokin. So those are my thoughts on this Islanders prospect. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And congrats to this guy on getting his first NHL contract. And Islanders are lucky to have this prospect in their system. So that's all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.